Imagine you're walking through a jungle 5,000 years ago, barefoot, probably shirtless, and someone hands you a bundle of burning leaves and says, "Here, breathe this in." Do you A, run, B, question your life choices, or C, take a deep drag and say, "Yo, this is kind of nice"? If you picked C, congrats. You and ancient civilizations might have gotten along just fine. Turns out humans have been lighting stuff on fire and inhaling it for a really long time. Like, long before Marlboro and warning labels. The oldest confirmed evidence of smoking dates back to about 5000 BC in what is now Peru. Archaeologists discovered pipes and charred plant matter buried in tombs, which basically translates to, yes, your ancestors probably hotboxed a burial chamber. But it wasn't just South America. Indigenous peoples in North America were also puffing away on pipes packed with tobacco and other herbs long before Europeans showed up with powdered wigs and syphilis. And this wasn't just for fun. Smoking was spiritual, ceremonial, medicinal. It was the Wi-Fi of human connection back then. The Mayans smoked. Aztecs smoked. Ancient Chinese smoked. People across Asia burned hemp and other herbs in ritualistic ceremonies. In India, they rolled up cannabis and opium. Egypt? Oh yeah, the Egyptians were big fans of smoke therapy. Some historians believe they even used smoke enemas, which... Okay, that's enough history for today. Now fast forward to the Greeks and Romans. These guys basically smoked everything except actual tobacco, which hadn't made it over from the Americas yet. Instead, they burned incense, resins, dried herbs, stuff like frankincense and myrrh, not just for religious purposes, but for their supposed healing powers, and also because it made the place smell less like goat. But it wasn't until 1492, when Columbus stumbled into the New World, that tobacco made its European debut. And from that point on, it spread like wildfire, literally. Spanish explorers brought it back, and soon everyone from sailors to kings were puffing away, thinking it cured headaches, bad breath, and maybe even death. Spoiler, it didn't. Now here's where the science comes in. When you burn a plant and inhale the smoke, you're not just getting the nice flowery vibes of Mother Nature, you're also getting a chemical cocktail of hundreds of compounds. Some, like nicotine, are stimulants. They light up your brain's reward system and make you feel good, focused, chill, briefly. Others, like carbon monoxide and tar, are basically poison. But ancient humans had no idea. They just knew it made them feel something. And that something is what kept them coming back. You see, nicotine is one of the most addictive chemicals on the planet. It binds to receptors in the brain that release dopamine, your happy juice. So every puff becomes a micro-reward loop. In modern terms, it's like a prehistoric TikTok algorithm, but for your lungs. But wait, how did tobacco go from sacred ritual to cool kid rebellion starter pack? Well, once European colonizers got addicted to the stuff, they turned it into a business, a very profitable one. By the 1600s, tobacco plantations were everywhere, and it became one of the first global consumer goods. They didn't care about lung damage, they cared about gold. Smoking became a social norm, especially among the elite. By the 1800s, if you weren't smoking, were you even a person? Then came the 20th century, enter marketing. Tobacco companies hired doctors, yes, doctors, to appear in ads saying things like, 9 out of 10 physicians recommend this cigarette. Absolute madness. They even targeted women with slogans like "reach for a lucky" instead of a sweet, promoting smoking as a weight loss strategy. At this point, it was less about rituals and more about addiction wrapped in shiny packaging. Now here's where things get weird. Science was catching up. By the mid-1900s, researchers started connecting the dots between smoking and things like lung cancer, emphysema, heart disease, and basically dying faster. But big tobacco pushed back hard. They funded their own studies, denied everything, and stalled regulations for decades. Fun fact, it wasn't until 1964 that the US Surgeon General officially announced, hey, maybe inhaling hot smoke into your lungs every day is bad for you. But even with the warnings, the addiction was real. People kept smoking. The dopamine hit was too strong, the habits too deep, and the industry too powerful. So what about now? Well, smoking rates have dropped, but they've been replaced with vaping, edibles, and mushrooms. Science has improved, and people are more aware, but the human need to feel something, to escape or connect or just take a break from being alive, that hasn't changed. So yeah, People in history definitely used to smoke, not just for fun, but to celebrate, to grieve, to heal, to trip, to pray. Smoking was more than a habit. It was a human experience passed down from fire circles to fluorescent lit smoking zones outside office buildings. But here's the twist. The more we learned, the more we realized that our ancestors were chasing the same thing we are. Comfort, control, connection. Only now we have science telling us what the cost is. So next time someone lights up and says, this is what I needed, remember, they're not wrong, but they're also not right. It's complicated because humans, we've been burning stuff and breathing it in for millennia. We just didn't always know what we were trading for that little moment of peace. Well, whatever you do, just stay safe and in moderation. If you liked this video, subscribe, comment, like, etc. helps out a lot. Until next time, stay safe. Watch out for Zape. Bye-bye.